Okay, in the bottom left, playing as Ryota, we have Disobeyed in the black versus SneakyDragon playing Dark Mercia. So, very early on in the game, a lot of people were like, Dark Mercia is pretty cool. I think people just like the idea that she was actually kind of somewhat viable, as opposed to Wargroove 1 where she was almost decidedly low tier.
Yeah, yeah. Super early on, when we just read the first few effects, like first demo time, I thought Dark Mercy was gonna be amazing. But then I saw her speeds and they weren't that good, and then other people had like better effects at better speeds. So
Yeah. I do think that she is pretty scary though. Like having like a decent sized AoE damage and also being able to essentially smash the entire map for 10 damage is pretty cool.
scary is a fair word. Yeah, you need to be careful. Like there might be weird tactics where that 10 damage or that 40 damage, that much is like leads to some breaks, or gets your CO killed, and you lose the game.
Yeah. And on a map like Max Carnage where there's a lot of units and Groove tends to build pretty quickly, being able to do like 10 damage map wide is pretty huge actually. But
On the flip side, a lot of those units are like swords and dogs and river boats. So
yeah,
you're not hitting 20 golems for 10%. You're hitting 20 swords and like one golem.
Yeah. Well, speaking of things getting hit, we have a lot of small trades going on. Ooh, we got Dark Mercia zooming. Doesn't take down the fortified on the first go. But
It's a cool animation, damn.
it is
Sword
a cool animation.
finishes.
Yeah, sword finishes. And it makes sense to hit with Dark Mercy first. She's almost got groove, so if she takes a bit of damage, so be it. She's gonna get that back when she grooves.
And speaking of groove, Ryota also has groove.
Yeah, he's pretty close to having tier
Almost,
2 already. Yeah.
And we talked about Dark Mercy. Ryota is just so good in this game. Not as good as he was in the previous game though. He was broken.
Oh yeah.
Now it's like a super fair and super strong show.
Yeah, he's just very good. And like people still need to explore a lot with him, I think. He
Yeah.
feels very I think underdeveloped is the right word.
Yeah, yeah. He's not as like super like high skill cap as he was like last time, but still there's a lot to
Yeah.
learn.
Alright, we got more zoom in from Dark Mercia. Gonna take down the village now. I think probably gonna aim to build tier 2. Making pretty good progress on that front as well. And Sneaky actually gonna put more pressure up on the north. He's gonna leave like what forces he has left to deal with the stuff in the middle. Just delay that a little bit more and just focus more on I want to pressure your barracks because Sneaky's barracks is under a ton of pressure right now. This fortified is going to go down to the sword after Ryota kicks the door. And then you're dealing with like a Ryota with tier 2. Oh wow, this is actually going to flip this turn.
Yeah, and the knight is here. So both players pressing their axe. Harp is gonna finish. Is in range of the maids. I guess even if the harp is in range of the maids.
Yeah, this is a massive chunk of spear and just I don't want to walk forwards. I actually almost wonder if Dark Mercy should just run up and groove here just to get some damage. But
maybe you hit something and wait to be hit back and then groove.
yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, because she's just gonna kill these swords.
Yeah.
And then yeah, that leaves the metaphorical door open to start hitting the barracks. I think yeah, just gonna clear this sword instead though.
Yeah, you could have crit the barrel. Oh, and yeah, mage picks up one harpy, but another one is already built, and the mage will die for it.
Yeah, and when you're playing defense, it's actually like a real issue to trade. Oh, we got a groove though. Let's see what's gonna go down and across.
Yeah,
Oh, that's good damage. Barracks is gonna go down.
Ooh, yeah, and nothing can touch the knight now. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think this mage is very dead. Merfolk just one-shots it, okay.
And Ryota, I played one Ryota game on this one. Feels so nice when you're clearing their axe there. It's so easy to clean up because his mass damage, it feels so easy to pick up low health units with it. And also cripple full health ones. But like the picking low health units is kinda rare, I guess. Like for example, Pistol can't kill with her mass damage, Ryota can and stuff. And because you also can control where it hits a lot, you can like pick up exactly the low health units you need. And this is really good action economy wise. Right, if you want to pick off 3 low health units, this might take like 3 actions from full health units.
Oh, well, we got.
Ryota saves you from that.
Hold on for a moment. We got a huge groove. Oof, there's a ton of damage.
Yep.
Not gonna flip the barracks just yet though, but it is going to basically annihilate the army that's defending.
Ooh, yeah. That was a great groove. Yeah, that might have been, yeah, that was actually more value than the Ryota groove.
Yeah,
I
although
guess.
Ryota already has his tier 1 available again.
Yeah.
And has already flipped the barracks, so we can see Disobeyed just get ready to start pushing up to the opponent's strongholds. And Ryota can just run up there pretty quickly, so...
Yeah, for other shows you might want a balloon here. But Ryota can just groove himself there.
Yeah, you're probably going to see like a tier 2 dash up there at some point. He's pretty close to it already. More captures. 187. He's going to have groove next turn. That's hilarious. He's so fast.
It's a bit crazy.
I mean, that's a map thing though. Like, normally you don't get tier 2s back to back, but
I guess, yeah.
there's just so much combat happening here. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Dark Mercy have groove pretty soon.
That's fair. And Sneak is gonna clean up this rocks this turn, right? Surely.
He'll get close. Ooh, doesn't kill the spear though.
Whatever.
Won't kill. Oh, I mean, he won't kill the Rex, but he will prevent it from doing anything.
Yeah, yeah. And the spear can't do anything either.
I mean, I almost wonder. Oh, I would have captured the hideout with that merfolk, built a thief whilst keeping the Rex surrounded with low health units, and then just stolen from it. But that is.
I guess that's an idea, but like the merfolk is also gonna, be useful.
Yeah, it's gonna come back for defense because actually Disobeyed is pushing this naval front pretty hard.
Yeah, this Kraken taking a bunch of damage.
Yeah, it's very tanky though. It should be fine. A lot of those units had to sacrifice quite a bit of health. And Disobeyed actually pushing on the other naval front as well. This might be game if like there's nothing really coming to defend here. And yeah, Ryota's got tier 2 already. Gonna go and push up.
And you see this in this map a lot, where when the bases get unmixed, quote unquote, the player who is faster with positioning their army for the class in the center line gets a bunch more eco, a bunch of initiative, and then just wins. And you see here, like, both players are basically down with the enemy racks on the top and bottom respectively. But Disobeyed has moved his army on the critical locations a lot faster and is ready for the fight. Left and right.
Also, I just want to say that was a really cool move from Disobeyed we saw earlier. Attacking with the low health spear to sacrifice it, which like slightly delays Dark Mercia because she has to fight that and it takes a bit of chip damage. But that's just so they can open up to build another spear, which delays the barracks getting taken. So Disobeyed's doing a good job holding up in the north.
Yeah, the only issue with that is that it feeds more groove, but I guess in this map you don't care because you feed so much that by the time the DM is like in the front line, she's gonna have it anyway.
Yeah, there isn't gonna be Saxa sword. Interesting. Just wants to take that down, I guess. But yeah, like unless Dark Mercy gets another tier 2, which might happen, we don't know for sure. But yeah, like giving your opponent a little bit more groove isn't the end of the world. We see this village getting knocked down, and Disobeyed I think is doing very well on eco, but it's pretty close overall actually, I have to say. Both fortifieds are on the opponent's side. I guess
Disobeyed is like, how many villages ahead?
I think he's like 2 maybe, because he's got these central line ones on both sides.
Yeah. Oh, one isn't capped though, so
Yeah, he's only like a tiny bit ahead. Oh, and now we see Sneaky building the thief. Okay. So yeah, they're
it's
gonna go.
effectively one full village flipped and one day cap. That's 300. He's 300 ahead, right?
Yeah. And,
We're
ooh, I
not
love
messing.
that. I love that yoink with the Kraken. Just like, oh wait, my Kraken definitely can't kill this riverboat. I'm just gonna shut it down for now.
Yeah, even at 10% health, Kraken can be super useful.
Yeah.
And on the strategy front, we see like Sneaky hasn't invested at all in his uh, ground forces, land forces on the left side, but is putting all of his land defense around HQ because the threat on it from naval is really huge. But
Tier 2, how's this gonna go? Big dash, big dash. Okay, so it does like a little bit of damage, not a huge amount, but
ooh, nice kill.
yeah, definitely gonna open up some kills, definitely gonna slow down the counter attack actually as well. I guess that's the big thing. Ooh, Harpoon's getting some nice hits here. Turtle, oh, it does big damage to the mage. Gonna be able to keep the Harpy alive a little bit, but you know, there's a Harpoon on their side, but
Sneaky put so much army on that side to defend, but it got hit hard by the Ryota groove and the army follow up. And now
yeah.
there is a dragon to finish the job.
I guess the question is, does Dark Mercia get tier 2 groove? Not quite, I think next turn.
Ooh, and the thief play you were talking about.
Yeah.
A bit later, but it happened.
I mean, it's a good play. Your opponent doesn't get money while they have that barracks, so you can hold off a little bit longer. Okay, Turtle gonna get a mage heal. That's really nice. We're gonna see some pretty good kills coming in here. Nice pick off on the Harpy. Sacrifices sword just to clear the dog. Interesting. But yeah, Sneaky's done some good work here. Pretty good defense. I wonder if Disobeyed you just back off at this point.
Yeah, that was more damage than I expected. I thought Disobeyed's attack was better, but it wasn't that good actually, I guess. It looked better.
Yeah, and actually Disobeyed's really losing on their own strongholds. There isn't
The
a lot.
naval fight, yeah.
Yeah, the naval is really not going well for them. They really need something to come and defend there. Dragon's gonna come in, open up a gap. Another blade dash coming in.
That's just a tier 1, right?
Yeah, but that was still some nice damage coming in. And they really want those barracks deads. And we're seeing a bunch of units that aren't necessarily going to get kills going in for hits here. Ooh, I don't know how I feel about this. This is not a lot of units to defend the strongholds.
I guess the attack isn't extremely scary, but ooh, Ryota is starting to get hit. Is he in
That
danger?
was a suicide. Are there just a whole bunch of suicides here? Air Trooper's definitely going to get killed.
Yeah, looks like it.
And,
Ooh.
tier 2. That's going to open up more hits on Ryota. He's open on 3 sides actually, with an archer nearby.
Oh yeah, that's just death, right?
Yeah, injured spear. Yeah, just more and more chip damage coming in. It doesn't matter that he's on a mountain.
It's gonna be a night crit and like 2 dogs, so the dog crit is gonna be.
Oh, right, yeah. And there's an archer behind it too.
I always spot on the archers, Barrett.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, you know, that's guaranteed, what,
Yeah,
6 damage on a mountain?
Oh, another side too. I didn't notice the harpy could reach the other side. I mean,
yeah, that's
super overkill.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage. Barely lives the dog, but
Is it 1%?
yeah. Oh, now we see. Yeah, there's gonna be a bunch more unit kills coming in. Okay, finishes off with the dog.
Once again, the archer doesn't even get used.
Oh. Missing out on the obvious style points. Could have even just killed another random unit with it, but
Yeah.
that was a super cool game. I really liked that one actually. It was pretty back and forth. I think Disobeyed had a lead at one point, but just
Pretty
pushed,
clearly.
Yeah, but just pushed a bit too soon.
Yeah, the push was suspicious and dropped the game. But you have to push at some point. You just have to do it better, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, that barracks on the left was wide open. I think he could have just pressured that and taken it down instead.
Maybe, but it's like it's a Rax and the tower right next to each other, so it's hard to push, I guess.
Yeah, but I think you could play like a slower game, take your opponent's production, use it against them. Like you've
You
got
can
the
also
econ
just
lead.
sit on the plus like 300 and eventually plus 400 lead on Econ. Just eventually just have a more expensive army.
Yeah,
You could just wait.
yeah, that's true. But I don't know, maybe Dark Mercia is like really scary when you see that she's getting her second tier 2. And you're just like, oh, well, she basically wins fights like across the map. Like if both armies clash and you throw in a tier 2 groove from Dark Mercy on top of that, like it makes it much harder to counterattack afterwards. It's because everything you're using is gonna like do less damage.
That's fair. That's fair.
But,
Healing isn't hard in Wargroove, but I guess if you need to counterattack right then, you
yeah.
can't heal. Yeah,
And
you
you
need to
can't
attack.
heal your whole army as well. Like it. So yeah, they can be a
And
bit
you
scary.
wouldn't want to spend a bunch of mage heals to like heal double the damage you've taken. You know, there's a 10% missing that you're not gonna gain, and it's gonna get wasted. And also, you know, it's your whole army. You don't have the money to mage heal all of it, or the mages. But also, Ryota is gonna be pretty scary on army fights. So I think you just wait and play late game with an advantage. But anyway, it was a very solid game and a nice little in the end. I think Sneaky was gonna win anyway. Like he repelled the attack and was killing more units.
Yeah. Although something Sequoia is saying in chat right now, a lot of this death count is apparently from invisible units that Ryota places when he does tier 2. And they automatically die after a turn, so apparently like that's why the kill or why the death count is so high on Disobeyed side.
I was looking at the kill count on Snake's side, which
Oh,
was,
yeah,
I
but
guess, yeah.
that,
I guess the difference is smaller there, yeah.
yeah, it's still a pretty minimal difference. And I think Disobeyed put more units into defending their barracks. So there was a bunch of cheap units that died there, whereas Sneaky didn't do that as much. But yeah, I mean it was pretty close either way. Like a 3 kill difference is pretty small. So, well played. We're gonna go into the next one.